Hello, all my fellow styrene users and abusers. This is George coming to you tonight from Kitchen Table Scale Models Basement Annex, where we're going to take a look at some screw bottom kits, and I'm going to finish this video with a special announcement. So I ask that you kind of stick around. I'll try to keep it brief so you don't fall asleep, or maybe make a loud noise when I'm ready for the announcement, so I wake you up. But yeah, we're going to look at some screw bottom kits. You can see behind me I've got an assortment of unbuilt kits out of my stash, as well as a number of completed builds. We're going to turn the camera around in a few minutes and look at the completed builds, but by way of introduction, why have I chosen to do this video? That's a good question. Been reading a number of posts lately on the Facebooks that lead me to believe that there's a lot of people out there that either don't understand or look down their noses at the old screw bottom kits, which is unfortunate because you're missing out. I won't get into the history of screw bottoms. We all know that, we all know what it is, and you can make an argument that without screw bottom kits there wouldn't be model cars because, well, to a great extent this is where model cars started. But I chose to do this video because I think these kits are undervalued. I think they're underappreciated. I think a lot of people don't recognize really how great they are. And as I started to kind of research this and put this together, I discovered something interesting. That we always associate screw bottom kits with older kits from the 60s. But the reality is there are quite a few kits being carried in the current catalogs, particularly by AMT, that originated as screw bottom kits that still have, to a certain extent, remnants of their screw bottom ancestry. So I'm gonna swing this camera around in a minute. We're gonna take a look at a handful of builds, and yeah, we'll just stick around and stick around to the end, because I got a fun announcement coming up that is gonna hopefully interest some of you. So yeah, stand by. Welcome back. The first build we're going to take a look at is one of the first, maybe I think it was the second build I did when I got back into building again about 5 years ago. This is the AMT 1959 Chrysler Imperial kit, which is one of the original screw bottoms that's been repopped a number of times. It obviously carries its promo heritage pretty loudly. The shallow interior shell, the screw bottom with almost no detailing. Yes, they are screw bottoms. This was a fun kit. Again, there's no engine detail. The interior detail leaves a lot to be desired. The chassis detail is non-existent, but the body is wonderfully molded. Details on the body are still crisp and clean, considering this is a nearly a 60-year-old, 60, 70, I don't know, how old is this, 60-year-old mold. It really aged well. I'm not going to get too much into a critique of this build. I'm going to say one thing and one thing only, and I'm going to let it drop right there. This was my first, only, and last attempt at using Rust-Oleum paint. Now, while it doesn't look too bad in these pictures in this video, there's a lot of little, it's just dried, really mottled. I tried to put clear coat on it. It stuck in spot. It didn't. I can't remember what clear coat I used, but this paint took like months to get to a point where I even felt comfortable putting clear coat on it. But I won't go down that Rust-Oleum rabbit trail because, frankly, for me, it's a dead end. But overall, considering this was the second model car I built in a in about a 25-year period. I'm pretty happy with the way it came out. I did use on the roof. I did bare metal foil aluminum on the to get the aluminum finish. Not a great job. You can see where I put the. I guess that was I don't know, Tamiya or somebody gloss black. I put over the Rust-Oleum. It didn't really like it that well. Fun kit. An example of what can be done with a screw bottom kit. I have seen a number of really fabulous builds based on this model. It's just such a 1959 car. I mean, it's overdone in every way, and but it was a fun model. I chose this back 5 years ago because I thought, well, I'll tell you, it's a promo type. It's a craftsman style screw bottom. Shouldn't be too difficult. And then I got to the bare metal foil stage, and realized how wrong I was. So that's a '59 Imperial. An example of what's available out there in the screw bottom world. Now let's move on. I think the next build I did was this bad boy, which that's a screw bottom kit, and it in fact traces its history back to this, which was the original '66 Buick Skylark. Funny story on this kit, on this particular kit. I found the kit as a bagged kit on eBay with no box. It was complete, 100%, everything there. I looked for this model for a while because I love this car. Obviously, because this kit was chopped up to make this kit, there aren't too many stock '66 Skylark kits hanging around there anymore. But I found it in a bagged kit, and then, I don't know, it wasn't long later, somebody was selling the box on eBay for $5, and I thought, yeah, okay, you know what? Good, I got a box for my Skylark kit. So that's that. But again, this kit was an original, it's one of the early screw bottoms from 1966, and was later the molds were modified and repopped to make the '66 Buick modified stocker. And if you're at all familiar with the modified stocker kits, you can see, although it does not currently have screw bottoms, it's got the remnants of the holes for the screw bottoms. And what's neat about this kit, as well as the other modified stocker kits, is that all of the modified stocker kits, this one, the Oldsmobile, golly, what else is out there? There's a Falcon, there's a couple others. I believe every darn one of them was a screw bottom kit. This build was nice. It was my first attempt at a two-tone paint job once I started playing around again. And this is all Tamiya acrylic. Unlike a lot the other screw bottom kit I showed you, the Imperial, this does have an engine. I didn't do a lot of detailing, just played with paint. And modified stocker kits are screw bottom kits. Let's move on along. Next up, this is one of my favorite builds for a couple personal reasons, but it's a '64 Grand Prix kit. It was an original AMT '64 kit that I picked up off eBay a few years back, and I built this to replicate a real '64 Impala, or Grand Prix, that was owned by my Uncle John in Connecticut when I was a kid. And I would spend days and weeks at their house during the summer, and some fond memories of driving to Connecticut beaches in this car, and getting sand all over the interior and all that stuff. But I always loved this car. I thought it was a cool car. The real car. The paint color is this is Tamiya acrylic titanium silver with I think I used the No, I think this was molded with a vinyl top, and I just hit it with a semi-gloss or a flat and semi-gloss mixed. Uh, Again, it is a genuine screw bottom, and with with decent engine engine compartment detailing. A little bit of work. If I bothered to take the time to pick out some of the wiring and stuff, I probably could have done a little better job of detailing it. It does have the old metal axles, which a lot of the screw bottom kits did. But it built up into a nice shelf model. Again, the body proportions and detailing is really the highlight of these kits. Next up, another 1964. This time, a Mercury Marauder. I originally started building this for the Baltimore IPMS MarauderCon show, where the theme was Marauders. This is built from a more recent reissue of this kit. Paint color on this is Scale Finishes Mercury Bittersweet, which is an original factory color, and interior's kind of an off-white. By this point, the interior detailing really isn't bad on this kit at all. I mean, the dashboard, you can't really see the dash. I don't have, let's try to get some light in there. Yeah, that's not going to work. But I think I did a video on this. If you poke around on my YouTube page, you'll see it. Chassis, again, is no detail, single piece, everything molded in. I'm not going to spend a lot of time detailing a one-piece chassis. I find that at the best, I make it. I don't really help it. Rather than spend a lot of time on, I got the bare metal foils coming off there. Rather than spend a lot of time trying to detail a one-piece chassis, I'd rather put my time and effort into doing the engine detailing and yeah, what happened there? I don't know what that little schmutz is there in the engine compartment, but this one's got a little bit more detailing. The paint on this came out nicely. Bare metal foil came out okay. Yeah, that's 64 Mercury Marauder, another great screw bottom kit. And last but not least, my most recent screw bottom creation was the 66 or 65. I can't remember what year it is. Let me see if I can find the box down here. I think it was a 65, no, 66. Anyway, it was an early Barracuda. This was again an original issue. This was not a repop. This kit has just recently been reissued as, I think, a 66. So maybe this is 65. This was a street machine build for Blue Ox Model Shop, and the one thing I did do is I used these are the cheater slicks came from Replicas and Miniatures in Maryland. The engine is I think was from either VCG or Texas 3D. And again, I've done a complete video on this. It's a slant 6 with the Hyperpack option, and a little aluminum stack on there. I had to do a little surgery to get that engine in there, and it was kind of a pain in the butt. But the overall build looks pretty good, and these all build into decent looking kits. As do any of the other ones that I have. I've got, let's get that. That's reflecting. That looks funny. I have all of these kits. Here's a sampling of some of the kits that are in my collection that are available. I'm sorry, I'm going to make you all drunk here. These are the kits that are available. That that I had in my collection. Some of these are still available today. The Thunderbird, I think, is still out there. The 63 Impalas and Galaxies are still out there. I mean, the 64 Cutlass has been repopped and reissued a number of times, but it all in fairly recently. But they all trace their history back to the original 64 Cutlass screw bottom. So here is my challenge. I am now going to announce, drum roll please, my first Kitchen Table Scale Models first group build. Only I'm hesitating to call it a group build. What I want to call it is the Great Screw Bottom Appreciation Challenge. And here's my challenge to you all. My challenge is to pick any screw bottom kit, anything that originated as a screw bottom kit. And if you look at HobbyLink or Model Roundup, I think I counted something like 18 or 20 kits currently available as new kits that have been issued or reissued in the last couple of years that are still available, that trace their history back to screw bottoms. So you're not just limited to the oldies, although I'd like to see a lot of oldies. My challenge is to build a screw bottom kit to show what can be done with screw bottom kits. Not too many rules. The only rules I'm going to stick with on this is that you got to start with a kit that either was an original screw bottom or originated as a screw bottom. You need to retain the original chassis. You need to retain the original interior pan, interior tub. It can give you some flexibility on the engines. If you want to swap in a 3D printed or something out of another kit, go for it. And yeah, that's it. Keep the body. You want to do body mods, do body mods, but as long as you retain the original screw bottom chassis or the chassis that came in the kit, interior tub that came in the kit, and start with that basic body. I don't want to see any swapping out of current issue kits chassis into a screw bottom, although if that's something you want to do, you're certainly welcome to, but not for this group build. And again, the challenge here is to show is to post your builds and to show what can be done with screw bottom kits. I'd like to kick this off on December 1st, so that gives you about 4 weeks to pick a kit and then post either photographs or videos. If you have a YouTube channel, post a YouTube channel and share it on either my channel, Kitchen Table Scale Models, Kitchen Table Scale Models Facebook page, or share it to any of the other Facebook pages that you'll see this video on, because I will cross-post this. So we'll kick this off on December 1 with an announcement of what you're going to build. And I figured, since this is a screw bottom kit, an appropriate day to finish it would be April 15th, tax days, because that's the day we all got screwed. So if you would start December 1st, finish April 15th, and let's show the world what can be done with screw bottoms. So let's go, gang. Come on, show us your bottoms. I want to thank you for watching this. I want to encourage everybody to participate. And let's have some fun with this. And again, the whole purpose of this is to show some appreciation for these screw bottom kits, and to encourage others to build them by showing what can be done with them. And thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking with me. And let's kick this off.